folks, and welcome back to another Pinal Prep Spotlight brought to you by Jones Ford Buick GMC, your hometown dealer for more than 50 years. Well, we are in February frenzy, as all the people are calling it, and crazy week for us here at Pinal Central. A bunch of play-in tournaments happening, and jumping right into things with that, we are gonna preview some of our potential playoff basketball teams, because right now we still don't know who they're actually going to be playing, and in some cases if they're making the play-in tournament, because these teams are right on the bubble. Starting things off, we are going to break down the teams that we do know based on their rankings right now that they are going to be playing later this week. And starting off, number 16, currently ranked in the 6A boys basketball, is Maricopa. Their play-in tournament is Friday. And David, how did Maricopa get up to this point in time?
Well, Maricopa's done a really great job of playing with their stars. You know, they have a lot of great guys that are able to get down the field, or get down the lane, and as well as, you know, shoot the three, get inside, score. Rebounding is big for them as well. They're a pretty good defensive team. So they've been kind of under the radar a little bit, though, as a 6A team. You know, they're not, you know, the big name teams like Perry or Chandler. But they're still a really tough team, and I think that a lot of those people take them for granted for not, you know, being at that level that they think, but they really are. They have really great guys and a great coach as well, so it's going to come down to whether they can kind of put all those pieces together and really find a way to make it towards the end. And I think they could make some serious noise in this playoffs if they find those right pieces, and if those right pieces are able to show up for them when it matters most.
David hit the nail on the head here. Earlier this year, so far Maricopa has a 15-3 record. Their losses are to Surprise Shadow Ridge, number 8 Mesa, and number 3 Phoenix Mountain Point. That Mountain Point game was very critical. It came just a couple weeks ago, and Maricopa lost 72-47. That's their worst loss of the season. So it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments this team has made from that point, and whether they can compete with these top teams like David mentioned. We know that they're capable of hanging with the middle of the pack against Tucson and all those teams, but when it comes down to it, you know, can they make that deep playoff push? David, is there anything else that people should know about Maricopa?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned, you know, we've seen them perform well against those middle-of-the-pack teams. They competed in the Casa Grande Winter Classic and won the whole thing back in December before New Year's, so that was a good, you know, momentum booster for them as well. But it really comes down to, can they, you know, handle it, and can they handle these big-name teams that they could face in the playoffs? So it'll be interesting to see how they handle that, you know, adversity. But I like this group. I think they have a really great coach, and just like I said, really great players. So they could make some noise here, but it just depends on how they're able to rise to the occasion.
All right, and our next team that is in very solid position is on the girls' side in the 4A conference, and that is number 14 Poston Butte. They also will be playing their play-in game on Friday. David, what can people expect from the Broncos?
Well, first of all, if you want to talk about, you know, everyone talks about March Madness, but how about February Madness that we got going on right now? A lot of basketball, boys and girls, soccer this week as well, so it's really just craziness. But to get back on track here, Poston Butte girls, you know, for the Lady Broncos, Adriana Blockman is the perfect example of a dual threat player in basketball. She does it well, scoring as well as defense. She leads the team in scoring at 14.2, leads the team in steals at 4.4. And if you're stealing the ball almost 4.5 times a game, averaging that's elite level right there of being able to pick the ball out, get in transition with your team, and be able to get easy buckets. So that is a great clip for her. And I think Savannah Bix, their coach, has done a great job with this team. She's a true leader for these girls, and she has done everything that she can to put them in this position, and she's done a great job. Like we said, they're 12-5 right now, a really good record. So I think they can make some serious noise in the playoffs. Like a lot of these teams have in common, they have to find those pieces together and rise to the occasion when it matters the most. But they're coached well by Bix. Bachman is a great example of what you can do both on the offensive and defensive side, so this team could make some serious noise.
All right, I do have to point out I really like some additions to this Broncos team this year. We have transfer Alex Swanson. She is their second leading scorer behind Bachman. Freshman Keely Duncan, 15 blocks. And as David mentioned, the job that Coach Savannah Bix has done to turn this program around is fantastic. This is going to be their second consecutive year making it to the play-in tournament. And not just that, she has the ability to find these athletes who are really talented, although they don't have that basketball playing experience, and turning them into basketball players. Julia Harris, just a sophomore last year, when talking to Bix, she would tell me, she's kind of like Bambi. She hasn't fully grown into her body yet, doesn't really know what's going on, but the transition that she has made from that freshman year to this year is incredible. So David mentioned it. It's going to be interesting to see just how far this Broncos team can go this year. Jumping onto the other side, talking about the boys team at Poston Butte, they are also going to be in the play-in tournament. Their game is going to be Thursday, and while they're not ranked in the top 24 right now, they did win the Black Canyon region, so they automatically got a spot in the play-in tournament. David, what can we expect from the boys?
Yeah, well, first of all, although they didn't, make it in rankings-wise, it's just still a tough thing to win their region. They have tough opponents like Holmes. Vista Grande has done very well in the past as well as this year, so it's a credit to them for to be able to win their region and get this spot. And now it's just up to them to be able to produce now that they have that spot. Jessie Gray for Poston Butte is great, 17.3 points per game. That is an awesome clip. And then Edmund Tui is doing really well as well, 15.8 points per game. And, but Tui is more kind of the all-around kind of guy for them. He leads the team in rebounding, and he's great defensive as well. They have other great defensive pieces like Connor Lopez. He averages 2 steals a game and leads the team in blocks. So, it's going to be, they have good pieces. Like they said, they're able to find their footing and get to that region spot. So that's how they're going to get in and hopefully make some noise. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make a decent run, but they're going to face some tough competition, in that 4A tournament. So they're going to have to be careful with that one. But if they find the right pieces and they keep going, they could do some serious damage.
Yeah, David's touched upon it. It really comes down to timing and, how these teams are rolling in towards the end of the season. It's been a little difficult for this Broncos team, but like David mentioned it with the two guys in Gray and Tui. Gray is the second leading shooter with 3 points made in the state. He can help spread out the floor. David also mentioned it with Connor Lopez, a big presence on the inside. So it's just going to be interesting to see if this team can mesh at the right time and see what they can do with hosting. They're likely going to be the 16th seed. So it's going to be a very tough road for these Broncos team, but we'll see how they do. Jumping over back to the girls' side, 5A conference, Casa Grande Union is currently ranked number 23 in that bubble area. If the Cougars do make it, they will play on Thursday, likely on the road. David, what about this Cougars team?
Yeah, you said it perfectly. They're right on the edge of possibly getting in, so it's kind of just up in the air right now to see what happens. But if they do get in, they have 4 players that are kind of their nest, kind of their core, their main core, in Bailey Nash, Jalen White, Juliet Graves, and Aaliyah Robbins. And Aaliyah Robbins specifically, she's scoring over just about 10 points per game, and all those 4 players are scoring at least 8 points a game. So they have production at many different levels, so that's really good. So they don't rely on one specific player. They can find production with multiple people. So Aaliyah Robbins, like I said, she's also she's great at everything, but also White is a great rebounder as well. And they're, like we said, ranked 23 in 5A, so they truly are in the mix, and it'll just kind of come down to see how the rest of the conference shakes out to see if the Cougars are able to find a playoff spot.
So it's been a difficult second half for the CG Union team. David mentioned it in Aaliyah Robbins and Juliet Graves. They have been out without these 2 players. They went down over winter break during the tournament play, and they pretty much are done for the season. David highlighted her, Jalen White, Bailey Nash. They have done a fantastic job. White is a junior, Nash is a sophomore, of carrying this team in the absence of Graves and Robbins, and also Cadence Apcall and Sienna White. Two more sophomores. These four, while, it's unknown where CG Union will end up this season, the future is bright. 3 sophomores and a junior. Look for these Cougars to, if it's not possible this season, to make some noise next year with the playing experience that they are getting right now. And just one last team, Combs in the 4A conference. The girls really on the bubble here, number 25. They've already wrapped up their regular season with the 12-6 record. David, what's it going to take for Combs to make that jump to number 24?
Well, whenever we've talked about Combs, it's always come down to Acacia Melvin, and it decidedly so, deservedly so. She is one of their best scorers. She's one of their best players. She leads the team in both scoring and rebounding, and it's really going to come down to how the Coyotes can respond if Melvin is possibly shut down. We talked about this with a lot of different teams. If they rely on one specific person, where's their production going to come if that person is unable to go or is just kind of being shut down by the opposing defense? So I think if they do make it in, Coyotes are going to have to obviously rely on Melvin, but they need to find those other pieces that they can find in order to have that extra, safety valve in case Melvin is just not being able to hit anything. So they're right on the bubble like we talked about with a lot of these teams. So if they find a way in, expect Melvin to be a key piece in this playoff run, because I doubt that she's just going to let it go down quietly. She wants to see this Combs team rise to the occasion, and she's going to be a big part of that.
Again, David's hitting the nail on the head right here. In talking with Coach Brandon Montoya, he mentioned it. He doesn't want this Coyotes team to be a one-trick pony, to rely solely on Melvin. So lately, he's been working a lot with Sammy Rees. She is doing a really solid job of expanding Combs' area, not just focusing on the inside with Melvin, but she is a really solid three-point shooter, and looking at other Coyotes who can step up and try to take some of that pressure and attention off of Melvin. All right, that does it for our basketball potential play-in playoff teams. David, is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah, make sure you keep with us to make sure you find out if these teams make it in. We got a lot of teams on the bubble and some teams fully going in, so watch out for that. We got basketball coming. We got soccer this week as well, so just make sure you stick with us to see what's going on out there for your Pinal Prep Sports.
David mentioned it real quickly. Got to throw in some soccer here. On Tuesday, Santan Foothills and Coolidge boys are both in action. If they both win, they play again on Saturday. Wednesday, it's Maricopa girls and Combs girls. Same scenario. They win, they also play on Saturday. And Saturday is going to be a busy day because boys wrestling are also going to be having their sectionals. So tune in. Check out what's going on, who's making it in the state tournament. That pretty much does it for Pinal Prep Spotlight. Be sure to check in next week.